Yeah, we've got a problem.
And with that, welcome to this special edition of the Moorpark Reporter Sportcast. We are recording this ahead of time for your Thanksgiving enjoyment because, much like Thanksgiving, I'm surrounded by some delicious treats right now. I've got staff writer Kennedy Collier, staff writer Max Clark, staff writer Mitchell Ross, and of course, desk editor Danny Stepanovich. Moving on. So today, we're going to be playing a little game called Overrated, Underrated. I picked it up from a podcast called Planet Money, and basically it's what it sounds like. I'm going to throw out a topic, and our amazing sports experts here are going to tell us whether or not, in general, these things are overrated or underrated. All right? So our first topic I'm going to throw out to you guys is kicking in football. Not Kennedy's football with Barcelona, but like American football. So we're talking, punts, field goals. Is kicking in the NFL overrated or underrated? Danny, I'm going to start with you, and then I'm going to kick it to Mitchell, Max, and Kennedy.
All right. This might be a little hot take for you guys, but kicking is way too underrated in the NFL. But let me start by saying this. They should just take out kicking in football. Like, they should just take out field goals, take out extra points, make them go for 2 points. It would bring another level to the game, more strategy. It would be way more exciting than having this skinny little white guy kick a ball through a field goal post to decide a game. 73 games last year were decided by 3 points or less. So one guy who doesn't play at all has to decide the game. And from the past 3 years, pretty much every year, 25% of the games have been decided by 3 points or less. But we're not there, so I don't think they'll ever take away kicking. But I'm still going to say that they're the most underrated position because these guys decide so many games, yet they're so underpaid. I don't know why there's not like this huge need for kicking, but the most successful kicker this year, Ryan Suckup for the Bucks, he's making $2 million per year, and he has the most points in the league. If I'm an NFL GM, I'm paying him $10 million. I'm saying, yo, kick for my team because you're going to win me 25% of these games. We saw the Bucks. They tried to do this with Roberto Aguayo. He was like the first kicker picked in the second round, but that was just way too much pressure on him because teams just don't do that. But if I'm an NFL GM, I'm investing in a kicker because they decide so many games.
Danny. You may be perfect, but your take is awful. Kicking in the NFL, 100% overrated. You just said the guy gets paid $2 million a year. He gets paid $2 million a year to not do any serious weightlifting or working out, to just kick a football. He doesn't even wear pads. There's no point to kicking in the NFL. Why are games being decided by a missed field goal? Games should not be decided by a missed field goal. They should be decided by a defense that stops the run or smothers the pass. There's no reason for kicks to decide the game, and playoff games nonetheless. Also, Marquette King, punter for the Las Vegas Raiders, is black. Not all kickers are white. That's a stereotype. I rest my case. Kicking, overrated.
All right, Mitchell, I'm going to have to disagree with you and go with Danny on this one. I think it's way too underrated. I mean, it's just exactly what Danny said. I don't like seeing a punter go out every couple possessions, but that's what he's got to do. And then also just the field goal. If there's too many games decided by 3 or fewer points, that if you miss that field goal and early on in the game, you're kicking yourself no matter what. But I think it's the most overhated position just because one play messes them up, but like the offense has so many plays throughout the game to score. So, yeah.
I mean, of course it's overrated. Kicking in football is overrated. That's because a lot of the offenses that are in the NFL rely so much on just going for a field goal. They could be at the 40-yard line, and instead of trying to throw the long balls or some slants, they throw like 3-yard button hooks and go for the field goal. It's just so boring. Now, where kicking is exciting is when you get the 50-yarder kicks, or remember the Iron Bowl, gosh, like 5 years ago when it was Auburn, Alabama, and the greatest play to ever happened because it was a field goal. Now, something that we should look forward to in the evolution of the kicker position is that soccer players, international soccer players who play in the big leagues, a lot of them are becoming NFL fans now. Harry Kane, a striker of Tottenham Hotspur, and also of the English national team, has expressed interest in being a kicker for an NFL team when he's done playing soccer. So imagine a man who only works out, whose sport is all about the legs, and now he's only focusing on kicking a football. He's going to be kicking 75-yard field goals. Then it's going to be exciting.
All right, that's interesting. I like those range of opinions.
Hey, Dom, you're the deciding factor. Is it underrated or overrated?
I gotta
You're the judge.
I gotta go with Danny and Max on this one. As much as I agree with all of you that kicking, is probably the most boring part of the NFL. We don't live in a world of shoulds. This is the NFL season we're with, and Danny and Max have the perfect point that if it's deciding games, then it's very important right now.
Ask for better football, Dom. We can get better football if we remove the kicking. Come on. We have so many constipated offenses.
I would love that so much. I would love to see a fourth down where teams don't, all right, let's wheel out the kicker and just, give up like one of our 4 downs.
Well, now it sounds like you agree with Mitchell and I, so I'm going to count it down as 1-0.
No.
For us.
Danny and Max take the round. Moving on.
Ooh.
Next one. So, overrated, underrated Thanksgiving football. We get 3 games every Thanksgiving, 2 of which we're always going to see the Cowboys and the Lions in. Now, from what I can tell, the only people who care about the Lions are Detroit Lions fans who hate the team. And I don't know very much about, how people feel about the Cowboys. But seeing as you guys haven't really been talking about them for our past however many podcasts, it can't be that good. So I want to ask you guys, Thanksgiving football, overrated, underrated? All right, let's start it off with Kennedy this time, then Mitchell, Max, and Danny.
I'm not one to slander my favorite holiday, Thanksgiving, the most overlooked holiday in all of U.S. holidays. Soon as Halloween's done, everyone wants to celebrate Christmas all of a sudden as if there isn't a whole month and a whole holiday in between. So Thanksgiving's great. Unfortunately, the football is kind of low quality. It's the only time on Sunday, if I am watching football, I'm either watching the Red Zone or I'm watching Thanksgiving football where I actually watch 3 full games. Yeah, the Lions have sucked and Matt Stafford, how many more chances does he need to show him that he's not a good quarterback? The Cowboys are a joke. So is the Washington football team. Used to have a kind of a racist rivalry of Cowboys and Indians that made sense on Thanksgiving somehow. But the exciting game this Thursday is Ravens Steelers. So I'm going to go underrated for the Thanksgiving football.
Yeah, Kennedy. Thanksgiving football. It's a tradition as old as apple pie, which is better than pumpkin. Hot take there. I like Thanksgiving football mostly because it gives me something to watch while I drink. The teams don't have to be any good, and the drinking makes it easier to make fun of them. This year, yeah, Steelers-Ravens should be an okay game, but Baltimore lost to the Patriots, so how good are they? And the Steelers are undefeated, so I expect them to just roll over Baltimore. Thanksgiving football with the Lions and the Cowboys is tough. Neither team are really good this season, and everyone calling the Cowboys America's team, that is overrated. They're not America's team. Not everybody is from Texas. Not everybody likes the Cowboys. In fact, I think more people hate the Cowboys than like the Cowboys. So Thanksgiving football, adequately rated.
That's not the game, Mitchell. It's overrated, underrated. It's not overrated, underrated, adequately rated.
No.
Give us a real answer.
No.
All right.
No, Dom. I will
allow
not.
it.
This is a kangaroo court.
I like kangaroos.
Underrated. Only slightly, but underrated.
All right. Well, I've been a fan of football since I was born, and my family puts on the games every Thanksgiving, but I barely ever watch it. I think no one cares about the Lions, and they play the Packers sometimes. Like, it's just the Packers are usually going to win. And then just the Cowboys, I agree with Mitchell. They're not America's team. No, most people don't like the team. But and then this week, I will say, or this Thanksgiving, I will say that the Steelers-Ravens game should be good. You can never count out a division rival game. They usually go down to the wire, even if the team isn't as good as the other. But yeah, I think really overrated, I would say.
Max has a perfect slogan for the Lions of the past 20 years. The Lions, they sometimes play the Packers.
Yeah,
and they
exactly.
usually lose.
Exactly.
Right, Danny, take us home.
I gotta go underrated also. I feel like it's been part of a Thanksgiving tradition. While you're making the turkey, doing all the cooking, you got the Lions on in the background, and then later on in the day, you get to enjoy the Cowboys. I mean, maybe you'll enjoy them losing, enjoy them winning. There's no in between. You either hate them or love them, but they're always going to be exciting. Usually, this year they have a explosive offense. Unfortunately, Dak got out, but it used to be Tony Romo. And then Ravens Steelers, that should be a good game. It was a good game earlier this season. I believe Steelers only won by 3 or 4 points. I'm looking forward to it. Underrated.
All right. I like that. Range of takes there. Now, Kennedy, I do have to take issue with what you said. Most underappreciated holiday? How dare you, sir? Tell me, what did you do for Leif Erikson Day this year? This October 9th, where were you?
You mean the classic slaughtering of a goat? Where else would I be?
Yeah, but come on. I don't think anyone else joined us there. It was you and me decked out in the body paint. It was really awkward because it was just the two of us.
I mean, but yes, but like let's look at the major holidays, right? Thanksgiving is I would say is a first ballot Hall of Fame, but it's also like it's the athlete you go, who's that again? What? Oh yeah, no, that's fine. You're too worried about the LeBron James of Christmas,
I'm gonna tell the Danes what you said. I'll let the Danes know.
Danes' days are numbered with me.
Right. Moving on. So, overrated, underrated. The COVID college ball season. The way they're doing college ball now, due to the unfortunate coronavirus pandemic. Overrated, underrated.
Yeah, so I don't have too much to say about this. I don't usually watch college football that much. I think it's a very overrated because there's no defense. But I do have to say, hats off to the NCAA for actually playing football through all this and entertaining everybody. So I'll actually go for underrated this season just because it's something that a lot of people needed, and they brought it. So
I'm going to take the other side of the coin on this one. College ball this season, largely overrated. The Pac-12 and Big Ten didn't even play complete schedules this year. And if their game got canceled to COVID, which several games did, they're not even getting rescheduled. I don't think you can accurately rank teams nationwide without including teams from the Big Ten and Pac-12, two of the Power 5 conferences. Also, the college football playoff is rigged. Why do you need to grade wins and losses? Did you win the game or did you lose the game? That's all it should be. And the SEC has a clear advantage because they just have the best conference. So every conference win is going to be a good win. And even if it's a loss, it's going to be a loss to a really good team. So the committee ranks it very high. There's no fans. There's no fans in college football. And that's the best part of football in the NCAA is the fans. So with no fans primarily and the lack of games played by both the Big Ten and Pac-12, I'm going to have to go overrated. I will not be watching the college football championship game this year because I just don't want to see Alabama win for the 11th millionth time. It's just no fun.
I'm going to change my answer. I'm going to agree with Mitchell. He brought some good points. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, Mitchell hit 100%. It's got to be overrated. I mean, we saw Clemson and Notre Dame a few weeks ago with no Trevor Lawrence. I mean, how can that be the game of the year with no Trevor Lawrence? And that was probably the deciding game to solidify Notre Dame as 2 in the country. But they didn't go up against Trevor Lawrence. And then, like you said about the Pac-12, they're not they're refusing to reschedule those games past December 20th or whatever that day that is. Yeah, I got to go overrated too.
Well, it seems like all four of us are just going to go overrated. The product is obviously diluted. I'm just against college football, usually, morally on a normal season and a normal year. But, you add a pandemic and you have student athletes who aren't paid at all compared. Like, it's fine if you want to go play sports in a bubble like the NBA when you're getting paid $5, $10, $25 million to play the game. But these are students who are risking their lives, not only with CTE and all that stuff, but now they're going out with the pandemic. It's very overrated right now.
All right. I like that. We got unanimous takes. We got some good sportsmanship between, Max, Mitchell, learning from each other's views. I like that. Plus, y'all stayed undistracted by what I was doing with my beard. I like that. So moving on to our next topic. Now, I was mainly thinking about football when I thought about this one, but it could apply to NBA as well. So I want to know what you guys think. Winning your division. Does winning your division matter as long as you go to the playoffs? So winning your division, overrated, underrated?
I think it's underrated, especially this season in the NFL with the new playoff format. Only the number one seed in each conference is going to get a bye for the first round of the playoffs. So it's very important to win your division, especially if you're saying the NFC West, right? You got 3 6-3 teams atop the division, and all three of those teams could potentially be in the conference championship. And I think it'll help if you A, win your division and have the best record, or B, just win your division because that guarantees you a home game in the playoffs. In the NBA, I don't really think it matters. I think they need to go to a 1-16 format, regardless of East and West. And in Major League Baseball, winning your division is the most important step to getting to the playoff because it ensures a spot in the postseason. So winning your division, underrated, a very important part of making the playoffs and winning a championship.
I agree with you, Mitchell. Also, it's totally underrated because it also ensures home field advantage, which is huge in the NFL. Maybe not so much this year, but in years past it was. Especially this season, like you said, with the NFC, the NFC East. Yeah, NFC East with all those trash teams. West, really?
What? Okay, well, I guess both, really, because in the East you're going to get a spot.
Yeah. Everyone's saying they should get rid of divisions because the Cowboys and the Washington team, they're all garbage. But this also creates rivalries if you make divisions important. There wouldn't be any Cowboys Giants rivalry without divisions. So definitely underrated.
I'm going to go overrated. I don't even remember what I was going to say now. Oh, because, well, you obviously have to win your division to get a good playoff spot, but let's look at the NBA. So many trash teams make it into the playoffs, usually in the East now. Used to be in the West. But the East is just so terrible. So if we get rid of the divisions, we're going to have more quality teams get in. I just think divisions are overrated. That's the weakest take I have on the show.
I'm going to have to go underrated for NFL and MLB. NFL, you got to win if you want to win your if you win your division, you go to the playoffs. If you don't win your division, there's a chance you don't make it. But for the NBA, it's so overrated. All it really means is if you play a certain team 4 times compared to like 2 or 3 times. So it really does not matter in the NBA other than just what team you play and how many times.
I'm also against divisions in the NFL because that means my Broncos will finally not have to play the Kansas City Chiefs twice a year. So, yeah.
All right.
Imagine being, I'm sorry, Dom, but imagine being a Dolphins, Jets, and Bills fan and living in the 20-year hell of the AFC East division. Just you have no chance for 20 years.
Now, for the final thing, and perhaps the most controversial takes we're going to get out of you guys, Thanksgiving food. Overrated or underrated? And I will start this one off because, as people can probably tell by my general build, I have opinions. Thanksgiving food is overrated. Turkey tends to be flavorless, bland. It's just not like a top tier meat. Don't get me wrong. I like smoked turkey with collard greens. That's good, but just regular roasted on a plate. And don't even get me started on mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes are probably the most overrated form of potato. Cornbread stuffing, though.
Hey,
Absolutely
Are you
amazing.
just gonna
You're out.
keep saying the worst things ever? I mean, I will agree with you, Dom, about turkey. It is a low tier meat, and there's needs to be better meat for
Whoa.
Thanksgiving.
Whoa,
No.
whoa.
It's
Whoa.
dry, it's bland. But
about-
I will not stand for mashed potato slander. I am from Ireland, my friend. That is
Hey. Fried potatoes, much better. Baked potatoes, much better.
Whoa.
Mashed potatoes, low grade. And
No,
that's
those
my
are
opinion.
all
Mitchell,
different
Hey,
things.
Mitchell,
You're
I'm throwing
making
it
it
to you.
wrong. You're making it wrong,
Mitchell,
Dom.
I'm throwing it to you. Then I want to hear from Kennedy, Danny, and Max.
You have no jurisdiction now with your opinions.
Well, since he threw it to me first, I'd like to take this opportunity to say that turkey is the only meat that should be served on Thanksgiving. Also, apple pie, underrated. I feel like people skew towards pumpkin for Thanksgiving. Pumpkin pie, overrated. It's only okay.
Oh my gosh. The only overrated dish on Thanksgiving is green bean casserole. All the other ones are perfect, delicious. I'll eat them all. I can't wait for mac and cheese this Thanksgiving. I can't wait for pumpkin pie. Maybe you don't put whipped cream on there?
You gotta
I
Come
do
on.
put whipped cream. I
Yeah.
like pumpkin pie. I just think it's overrated. Also, your family does mac and cheese. My family doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh, you need some of that mac and cheese.
Do you guys
Because we're
put
Jewish, man. You
Do you
can't
put
mix the milk
toasted
and the meat.
panko on top? Toasted
I don't
panko
do the
breadcrumbs? No.
I don't do the cooking.
He just does the eating.
Yeah.
Do you think those beautiful hands of Danny are doing any manual labor? Absolutely not.
So I forget who I called out next, but now I'm gonna toss it
Not
to
my baby hands.
Max next,
Yeah, no.
and then Kennedy. Thanksgiving
All
food,
right, yeah.
overrated, underrated.
Turkey is really overrated. I mean, maybe cranberry sauce can save it, but turkey is just But I think Dom is going crazy with mashed potato slander. I think someone's never made you good mashed potatoes, because mashed potatoes are my go-to.
That's what I have to agree with Max wholeheartedly on the mashed potato take. You have not had good mashed potatoes, because you potatoes, cream, milk, butter. That's it. That's that's
Easy.
it. Salt, pepper. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And yes, you're in Flavor Town, baby. Turkey is overrated. I wish out of all the things, Ben Franklin, his crazy life he did, he made the turkey the national bird so we could, never have to eat it ever again. You know what's better than a ham?
You go with ham? Okay.
Oh,
That's what I was
100%.
gonna
No, my
ask.
family goes with turkey, but once I fly, away, and it'll be a ham at my house. But the most overrated part of the classic Thanksgiving, cranberry sauce. Get that tart shit out of there. Get it out of there. It's awful.
All right, so it sounds like we have a general consensus with heavy disagreement from Mitchell and Danny on turkey, and it sounds like I am outnumbered on the mashed potato front. I've had good mashed potatoes. It's just I don't
think you have.
I don't like mashed potatoes.
Then you haven't had good mashed potatoes.
Hey,
Yeah.
do you put gravy on it, Dom? You need to put gravy on them.
Gravy is the most overrated of all.
What?
It's
I agree.
brown.
I'm not a
Dom,
gravy
you're
guy.
fired.
What?
I'm
No,
telling
no.
Professor Kelsey.
I'm not a gravy guy either.
Like brown gravy.
At all.
I like
Not a
sausage
gravy.
gravy, like especially
Ooh.
on biscuits, fresh
Hell
southern
yeah.
biscuits.
It's got to be
Yeah.
brown gravy.
Ew.
I know, but that white gravy's pretty good though.
For Thanksgiving, it's brown gravy.
Okay, yeah,
Ew.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
He's not a
Ew.
savage.
All right. Well, guess what? It's okay to have different opinions, but on mashed potatoes, you all have the
Is it
wrong
though?
opinion. And thank you for watching the Moorpark Reporter Sportcast, our special Thanksgiving edition. I'm Dominic D'Amico. All right. Once again, you
Danny
guys,
Stepanovich.
Yep.
At D Stepanovich. Twitter, Instagram. Make
Two
sure you put
H's.
another H at the end. Yeah.
Yep. Kennedy, where can they find you?
They can find me at Kennedy C. Collier on Twitter. It's 2 C's in the handle.
Mitchell.
You can find me at Mitch Ross Report, wherever social media is accepted, and eating turkey, because that is clearly the best Thanksgiving dish.
Max.
_ Max Clark on Instagram and Twitter is where you can find me.
All right, love
What
it.
about the bread rolls, guys? The bread rolls.
We forgot the rolls.
Forgot the
I mean,
rolls.
The rolls are
At least
amazing.
we ended on a high note with the bread rolls.
Yeah. All right. At least we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Later.